Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. When you think about a front door just slightly ajar with that incredibly warm, inviting light pouring out, it immediately hits you with a massive question, right? What is it that truly makes a house a home? I mean, sure, we all have a physical address, a place to stash our stuff and sleep, but that atmosphere inside, that warmth, those guiding principles, well, those are entirely up to us to cultivate. Today, we're unpacking a deeply profound concept about household devotion straight from the Victory Chronicles source material. We're going to look at what actually happens when a family decides to intentionally set their home apart. So let's step through that glowing open door together and figure out exactly what it means to declare what your house serves. Now, what's really interesting here is that we are constantly surrounded by these silent competitors for our attention. Seriously, think about it. The trophy, the TV screen, the wall calendar. These are everyday modern distractions that are literally vying for our household's devotion every single minute. You've got the trophy, representing our relentless pursuit of achievements, accolades, sports, climbing the career ladder. Then the television, which obviously stands for that endless stream of entertainment that can so easily hijack our living rooms. And that calendar, oh man, that's just the sheer busyness of our modern lives, completely packed from dawn until dusk. Now, none of these things are inherently bad on their own, not at all. But without us even realizing it, they can kind of just silently take over. They become these underlying forces that our households end up serving, completely draining away that warm, intentional light we just talked about. It's a subtle drift, but it is so real. So, how do we counter that drift? Well, it brings us to a profound turning point where a line in the sand absolutely must be drawn. Think about a physical boundary. It brilliantly illustrates exactly what we need to do. If we don't want to just default to serving all those relentless distractions, the crazy busyness, the glowing screens, the constant chase for worldly achievements, we have to make a conscious, definitive separation. We have to look at our homes and decide, okay, what crosses our threshold and what stays outside? It's all about establishing a real spiritual and cultural boundary around our homes. By drawing this line, we're actively protecting our environment from outside influences that just don't line up with our deeper values. It is a powerful, intentional commitment to saying, all right, this far and absolutely no further. And that brings us to our anchor passage, which really captures this crucial point. I want to read this completely verbatim for you because the weight of these words is just incredible. Quote, "And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." That is Joshua 24:15 from the King James Version. What a powerful, conscious, daily choice. Did you notice it says, choose you this day? It is not a one-and-done decision you make and forget about. It's an active, everyday commitment. It's literally the ultimate declaration of rejecting those modern gods of distraction we talked about and consciously deciding who actually gets the ultimate allegiance of your home. Making that kind of spiritual commitment, it's like literally staking a claim. When a family actually decides, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, they're essentially raising a flag of faith right over their rooftop. It is a total declaration of identity. Think about it. What does a flag do? It signifies sovereignty, right? Allegiance. By metaphorically hoisting this flag, a family signals to themselves, to whoever walks through their door, and to the entire world outside, that this specific structure operates under a totally different set of rules. It becomes a sanctuary, claimed for a higher purpose. It flips the entire posture of the household from just passively existing to actively, purposefully living. But it's one thing to raise the flag, it's a whole other thing to actually live under it. And that's where we get to what we call intentional time, which builds right into actionable faith. Intentional time is the act of closely examining our daily schedules, literally taking a magnifying glass to them to ensure we're actually prioritizing our faith. Remember that calendar of distractions from earlier? Well, this is exactly how we defeat it. We have to scrutinize our days. We have to zoom way in and ask ourselves, okay, where is the time for devotion here? Where is the time for real connection? Are our actions actually matching those bold declarations we just made? Serving the Lord as a household? That does not happen by accident. No way. It requires meticulous scheduling. Sometimes it means saying no to perfectly good things so we can say yes to the absolute best things. It's about making faith actionable on a random Tuesday afternoon, not just on a Sunday morning. Now, right alongside our time, we absolutely have to consider our words. There is this incredible power and, honestly, a total necessity in actively speaking words of faith and declaring a holy purpose over our households. It is just not enough to quietly harbor good intentions. The whole atmosphere of a home is largely shaped by the words spoken within its walls. So we have to ask, are we speaking encouragement? Are we vocally reminding our family of our shared values? Are we praying together out loud? By actually voicing our commitment, we reinforce that boundary line we drew earlier. The words we choose to fill our homes with, they literally become the mortar that holds our spiritual foundation together. It takes a silent, internal commitment and turns it into a vibrant, living culture. Let's actually map this out across a typical day, just to see what a timeline of daily, devoted faith looks like. In the morning, it starts with the breaking of bread at the table. Maybe it's morning prayers, grounding the day in gratitude before everyone rushes out the door. Then, during the day, the open front door symbolizes how we interact with the rest of the world, going out with real purpose and welcoming others in with genuine hospitality. And finally, at night, a glowing porch light acts as this beautiful beacon of peace and safety as the family gathers back together to rest under God's provision. It just flows so beautifully, doesn't it? So I have to ask you, if you were to look at the timeline of your own day, what would it look like? Do the rhythms of your morning, your day, and your night reflect a house that serves its stated purpose? Or do they reflect a house just running on that treadmill of distraction? That kind of daily reflection brings us right to the ultimate goal. True ultimate victory when it comes to household leadership. It's not about having the perfectly decorated living room or having the most overachieving kids on the block. Not at all. It's about submitting the home and every single person in it entirely to Christ's authority. The cross represents that ultimate foundation of grace and sacrifice, and the crown, that represents the sovereign leadership we invite to rule over our lives. When we strip away all the busy schedules, all the trophies, and the glowing screens, this is it. This is our highest calling. This is what brings true peace and true alignment into a home. It's about fully surrendering our illusion of control and allowing a higher, divine authority to orchestrate our family's path. And that powerful realization brings us right to the end of our explainer today. We leave you with the title of our source material, The Victory Chronicles, sitting right alongside its truly profound tagline, Strength in Faith, Victory in Christ. You guys, these aren't just catchy words. They are the direct result of all those steps we just walked through together. From drawing that hard line in the sand, to scheduling intentional time, to speaking our purpose out loud, right up to submitting to ultimate authority. So I'll leave you with one final thought, a really important question to ask yourself. When you turn off this explainer and look around your own living room, who or what will your house choose to serve today? Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, stay intentional.